ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to the second episode of the Learning Shlokas series, and today's topic is Sanskrit alphabet and pronunciation, the signs of it, and also how to actually pronounce them, because many devotees are unaware of the pronunciation, how to pronounce all those lines and the dots and all the accents. So we are just doing this session to help the devotees pronounce in a better way, and also that helps us understand the words, the Sanskrit words, in a deeper manner, as you will realize as we go. So we will quickly get to the topic. Today's topic is going to be very technical, and we're going to be making a lot of sound. Today is not philosophical. Today is all about learning the sound, how the sound is produced, the alphabets. So the Sanskrit alphabet is very scientific in the sense that we have to understand, of course, to produce any sound we have to understand our vocal system, our human vocal system. So for Sanskrit it is especially so, because the entire order of alphabets is based on the human vocal system. So let's get to it right away. So this is the Sanskrit alphabet. I hope you can see that. I'll just make it a little bigger. So this is the Sanskrit alphabets. As you can see here, on the top is the vowels and the bottom is the consonants. So vowels, if we don't know the definition of vowels, so vowels means when the sound is produced without any blockage. Okay, before we even go to vowels, we need to understand our human voice box, our whole how our human vocal system is formed. All right. We will go here. Okay, this is the vocal system. Now here, so this is what we need to understand, because to produce the sounds we need to manipulate the tongue and our breath. So we need to know exactly what to do. So that's why I am showing you this diagram here. So as you can see, there is this word, the larynx. So that part is the voice box. The voice emanates from there, right? And so there are three components to making sounds. We use this in different ways and then produce all the sounds that are there in the world. I mean in our language. So the three components are the position of the mouth, as in the tongue, the position of the tongue and the way how we stop the sound. You will understand what I am talking about in a while. And so we need to understand the different parts of our mouth, from the throat all the way to as you can see, from the throat all the way to the mouth, the lips. We need to understand the different parts of that. So the first, like for example, when we say ah, the sound ah is produced directly from here, and it is not stopped by anything. Ah, it just comes straight out. That is the primary sound, ah. So when we say, actually we can understand this when we are pronouncing the vowels, and slowly we will go to the consonants as well. So I will show you the velar. Okay, this is 1 second. So this, I do not know if here it is not there. I will go to there is a nice article on the pronunciation. So this is the article. Actually I will be basing this today's session on this article. We will share the link in the comments later on. But I need you to understand this. You see this? Velar, palatal, retroflex, or also called sometimes cerebral, and then there is dental and labial. So that means velar means kanthya. So in the mouth, so this is the mouth. So ah, you see the a, ah is produced from that part of the mouth. Ah, you pronounce. As we are doing this, try to also follow along by producing the sound, so that you understand exactly what is going on. Right? So ah is produced from here, and when you pronounce e, we mindlessly do it, but actually if you notice what you are doing with your tongue and the mouth, e, the tongue actually raises up. With the middle of the tongue we almost touch the top, but not really touch the top. But when you say ah, the tongue is right at the bottom. Ah, e. So e, when you say e, the tongue goes a little up and at the center of the palate. Palate is the top part of the mouth. E. And then when you say oo, oo is the lips. You are stopping. Oo. So there is the sound from, it is actually ah, but when you close the mouth it will become oo. So the same ah, when the tongue is up it will become e. I. You see, just try to do it from starting with a. Yes, Prabhu. So starting with a, you try to change it to e. Yes. So starting with a, go up, e. I. See, as you move your tongue up, it will become e. You see that? So this is what we need to understand, what we are doing with our tongue. So there are sounds that are produced For example, ka, if you see what you're doing with your tongue and your upper palate, ka, just observe where you're touching the tongue and the upper palate. Which part of the tongue is touching which part of the palate? So in the palate, in the upper portion, there is two parts, the hard palate and the soft palate. Now I want you to use your tongue and feel inside with the tip of the tongue, roll it upwards and try to feel at the top. So you can feel the hard part. Now if you roll the tongue even more back, it's soft part. You can feel that almost here. Like that. When you roll your tongue, there is a soft part. So that soft part is called kanthya. So that sounds produced from there are kanthya. So ka, when you say ka, it is coming from there. Ka, you see the back of the tongue or the middle of the tongue is touching the soft palate. Ka. Notice that? That's what I'm saying. So ka is produced from there, and then the next cha. If you see cha, the tongue is touching at the middle of the hard palate. Cha. It's not the tip of the tongue that is touching, it is the center of the tongue that is touching at the top. Cha. And when you say ta, ta is the same center of the palate, upper palate, hard palate, but the tip of the tongue is touching. Ta. And almost like roll backwards. Ta. Slightly roll backwards. That's why it's called retroflex. The tongue is, I don't know, I'm not a good artist, but I'll just try to show here. If this is the bottom of the mouth, and this is the top of the mouth, and this is the tongue, I'm horrible at drawing, but kindly bear with me. Now the tongue, this is the tongue. Now here, if the tongue goes up like this, like this almost, not that much, but a little bit less, like that, ta. So this is the mouth, this is the lips, say, no space here. If this side is the lips, so the tongue that from back of the mouth, it comes like that and touches the top. That is ta. Ta is produced from there. And ta, when we say ta, usually sometimes I see some devotees, they can't distinguish between ta and ta. Ta is dental. Dental means the tongue is touching just at the tip, at the root of the teeth. Ta. That is ta. But when the tongue touches at the top like this in the diagram here, that is ta. So that is ta. And ta means when it touches the teeth, the tongue touches the back of the teeth. Not exactly the teeth, at the gums, at which the teeth start. So ta. And then pa. Pa is when you do with the lips. So from here all the way to the lips. So that is the order. So you will see in the consonants, ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, ta varga, pa varga. So varga means the series or the category, like that. So these are the different ways how we stop the sound. Consonants are when you stop the sound from the vocal, from the throat. You stop the sound with different mouth positions. So the one aspect of producing sound is the mouth position, and then there is the of course the voice box from where the sound originates, and finally there is the breath. Like for example, when you say ka, that is without breath, and when you say ka, like blockhead, when you say blockhead, K, block, the K sound at the end of the block, and head, the H sound at the start of the head together becomes blockhead, ka, that ka sound. That is when the same ka, but you push the breath from here, ka, ka. So that's produced like that. So that is ka. So in this way, let us try to understand the whole science of how the alphabets of Sanskrit are arranged. Alright. So now we will go back to that, this one. So I want to base today's today's session on this particular article, because this it's called the website is called bolochant.com. I don't endorse every material that is on this website, because some of them are impersonalistic articles are there. So, but this article on the pronunciation of Sanskrit is one of the most authoritative that I could find. And here, so the first thing is, in Sanskrit, it is different from English, because in English the sound is not perfect. For example, in English, when you spell it out as B-U-T, B-U-T is but. And when you say P-U-T, it's put. So there is no logic there, but and put. But the spelling almost looks the same, just it should be either but and put or but and put, but no, it's but and put. So there is no, it is not standard. But when you see Sanskrit, what you see is what you get. So there is no, you don't have to guess. So sometimes when you see the spelling in an English word, you're not sure how to pronounce it. Like when you see when the word, you see this, I would say, let's say, we say rendezvous. This, if you don't know how to pronounce it, anyone would say rendezvous or rendezvous or something like that. But you need to know a background. Okay, this is coming from the French language, and then it is to be pronounced as rendezvous. Rendezvous. So you will not know, but the spelling and the pronunciation has no relation almost sometimes. And words like knife, for example, the K is silent. You take out that, it is still, knife. And I saw a video which is even more funny, like this. This word, empty. Now, this is empty, right? If you take out the E, it will still be empty. And if you take out E, P and Y, it will still be empty. And if you take out the whole word, it will still be empty, because it's empty, nothing there. So you see how, and another word is Q. You take out all the 4 alphabets, it's still Q. Why? If you just see the spelling and pronounce it according to the spelling, Q-A-W, that's how it is pronounced, right? So the pronunciation and the spelling is not the same. So therefore, phonetics is a branch which is separate from alphabets. Alphabets is one thing and phonetics is one thing. So like phone, for example, we'll go to the next page. So if I say phone, it can also be like this. Why is it not phone? So these are all anomalies, or they are not perfect. It's not a perfect language, that's why English. But of course it is now the most popular. But the most perfect language is Sanskrit. That's why the word, the name of the language is Sanskrita. That means very well made. Very well made. The perfect language. I mean the perfectly made language. And all the Indian languages, they all are based on Sanskrit alphabets. So you will see the similarity in all the languages in India, almost all, based on the Sanskrit alphabets. Some there are a little more alphabets, some there are a little less, and some they are pronounced a little differently. For example, va, when we say va in Sanskrit, in Gujarat they say va, va. But actually in Sanskrit, in the strict pronunciation is va. So some slight differences like that are there, but otherwise it's all based on Sanskrit. So with that understanding, we will try to understand Sanskrit which is a very perfect language, and when you see something, you should exactly pronounce it as you see it. So it makes it very easy to pronounce actually. I do not know if you can notice. So this is Velar. Velar means Kanthya, from here. So you see, I can't actually show. I don't know if I can show. No, I can't with my. So you see, the tongue of the mouth is touching at the back of the upper palate, the soft palate. You see, that is Velar. Sometimes it's not touching; it is just compress, come near, or say, how to say, no, a good example of that sound, but it is from there. So that part, and then there is palatal. Palat means, this is called what is the Sanskrit word for it? Kanthya, and then there is, forgot. Talavya, palatal, talavya. So this is a bit at the center. The tongue is touching. Cha, cha. You see, when you say cha, that is the middle of the tongue is touching the top, and then there is a retroflex, or this is also called cerebral. Ta, ta. The tip of the tongue is touching at the top. You can see there, the tip of the tongue is touching the top. And then here the dental, you see the teeth. So the tongue is touching right at the foot or the base of the teeth. When it's touching, when the teeth is joining the gum of the ta, the ta, tha, da, dha, na. So all it is coming from there. And then there is labial, pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. So the order of the alphabets is from here all the way to here. So it's that way. So these are. So now let's go to the vowels. So I will first show what is the Sanskrit alphabet like. Where are we? Here. Not this one. Okay. You see this? So this is the Sanskrit alphabets. It's very scientific, I'll tell you why. So now let's focus on the vowels. So the vowels go like this, the sound. A, I, U, R. And then there is, of course, there is another one which is called L, which is almost not in use nowadays. There is also L. It's not exactly L, it's L. It's like the tip of the tongue touches the, like the dental. So that sound, L. But it doesn't touch the teeth. So that sound anyway, it's almost not found. I only saw once in Prabhupada's books, where I think in the 2nd chapter 7th verse purport, when the Brahmana and Kripana, that verse from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that is explained in the old version of Bhagavad Gita, it is explained, it is written there, but in the new version is replaced with La. So you can pronounce it like almost like La, but actually it's not the pure pronunciation, but anyway, it's not there. So then A, I, U, R, and then A, I, O, Au, Aha. So this is actually and Aha is Anuswara and Visarga in Sanskrit. So it's not exactly vowels, but it is put there along with the vowels because it usually comes at the end of the consonant. So anyway, so now we will try to understand these vowels. In English it's only A, E, I, O, U, they are vowels. But in Sanskrit, there are so many vowels. There is 16 actually. Even the R is, there is the extended version of it, Dirgha version, which is R, or Ri. Sometimes it's pronounced as Ri, but actually it's not the pure pronunciation, but we can still do with it. So actually it's R. So that pronunciation, that is R. So anyway, so it starts with A. Now let us try to understand where this A is coming from. It's coming from right there at the throat. A. Then A. Then A. So A is just increase the, the open the mouth a little more wider, and then for longer time. You don't even have to increase the mouth, but just elongated version of it. That is called Hrasva and Dirgha. Hrasva means short, and Dirgha means long. So both are produced from here. Then E is when the tongue is almost touching the top. See, now the sound has, or you can see, the sound is touching from here, it has transferred to here, E, right here, E, when the tongue touches, Vowels are always when the sound is not stopped. When you say, for example, Ka, it is and then with the tongue you touch the top at the back, Ka. So when you hold it there, Ka is produced when you release the tongue from Ka, that position. When the tongue is touching the top, from there if you release it, then it's Ka. But if you keep it there, the sound doesn't go. The sound, Ka, that when you don't say anything, when you just keep the tongue there, the sound is stopped. That's why it's called consonant. Consonant are where you stop the sound by completely touching the top. So, Ka. So when you release the tongue from there, then it's Ka. So the same Ka. See, Ka. So that's why you stop the sound and then release it again. So the same it's all coming from A. A is the principal sound. Everything is then manipulated with the different mouth positions and different aspirations, or the aspirated breath. So the breath, the mouth position and the tongue. Sorry, mouth position is basically, the tongue also. The tongue and the sound, the actual sound that comes out, and manipulated with breath and the mouth position. So these three components, the sound, the mouth position and the breath, these three we manipulate and produce all these sounds. So now and then E, and then now U, right here. Now the sound is stopped by, or is constricted by the lips, whereas A and E, the mouth is open. When I say U, we are constricting the passage of sound, from the small hole U at the right at the listen. So the U, the A becomes Ow. You see the how it changes to U when you close the mouth. So that's what we are doing. It's the same A, but then with mouth position in that way and the lips, so it becomes U. So, and then we will go to R. R is R. It's not exactly like R, but it's almost the same. So that's why it is difficult. Usually it's there is some confusion about how to pronounce it, but actually R, it's almost touching at the top. So what we can do is when we say Krishna, K with the this. When you say Krishna, we write it in our books like this. So this R, Krishna, it is in its purest form. It should not sound as Krishna, Kri. It's actually Krishna. So R, that sound only. Not Ri, not Ru, not Ra, R. Krishna. So that's how it's actually in its purest form. But in dialects, like in Gujarati, for example, they say kru, and even in Telugu, my language, they say kru, Krishna. And in some Bengali, for example, they say Krishna. So that's the variations. But in pure Sanskrit, it's Krishna, Krishna. So like that. So these are the pure sounds: a, e, u, r, and then a. A is a compound vowel. That means it is produced with a combination of two vowels. What is that? A and e. In the halfway of between a and e comes a. Now try to pronounce again with your mouth and follow me. So a, right? E. Now try to pronounce a. Just pronounce a and change it to e. I. You see that? So as you're going from a to e, halfway you will come to a. I. This is the a. That is halfway between a and e. A. That is a. So the pure vowels are a, e, u, and its elongated versions. A, e, u. R is also, or r is also pure vowel. Now a is halfway between the first and the second. A and e is the first two pure vowels. So between that is a, halfway. I. So that is that midway. A. That's a. And next is I. So here what we do is, instead of stopping it at a, we just producing one sound, a. But I means you actually go. Just now I asked you to do in a longer I. So that actually you start with one sound and go to the other. So a, you start with a and end with e. I. So in that way, from here it goes to here. I. So the whole transition. Whereas a is halfway through the transition and it's just one point, a. But I is when you actually move. It's called a diphthong in English. Diphthong is when you, it's a grammatical word. So diphthong is when you start with one vowel and end with another vowel. A, we are starting with a and ending with e. I. That is I. So when you say a and I, don't pronounce this. Sometimes Hindi, those who are familiar with Hindi, they say a. Like for example, I. What is it? Like, okay, Aishwarya. Sometimes in Hindi they may pronounce it Aishwarya, a. Instead of a, not a, they don't say Aishwarya, but Aishwarya, ash. So in Sanskrit that is considered a mistake. In Sanskrit it's Aishwarya, I. So I. So the whole transition I. And then comes O. So as we know, again the pure vowels are a, e, u. So the combination of a and e produces a and I in the singular point and the whole transition I. In singular is a, halfway between them, and the whole transition is I. Similarly, a and u. Now the previous one was a and e. Now a and u. So a. Try to pronounce again. A and all the way to u, and then stop it halfway. You see, you will reach at o. Ow. So ow. So halfway is o. Ow. So o is halfway between a and u. That is o. And when we actually, then comes ow. Ow is when we actually the same thing. We start with a and end with u, and do the whole transition. Ow. So a, e, u, r, and actually the elongated r, and then a, I, o, ow. So in this way, the vowels are constructed in Sanskrit. You see how orderly it is, how systematic it is. This is Sanskrit alphabet. And then of course after this comes which is called Anuswara. Like Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So Krishnam, that that comes, that means of course Krishnam means unto Krishna, to Krishna, like that. Krishnam Namadhvam Sada in the Mukundamala Stotra, in the 43rd verse of the Mukundamala Stotra. King Kulashekar, the author, he actually teaches grammar with the word Krishna. So it goes like Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guru. You see Krishna, there are different variations of Krishna in this verse. Maybe I'll take it out so you can understand. This is a little bit of a deviation but from the topic, but it's good to understand the grammar. So today is all about technical, so it will be very technical, so I'm sorry if it is a little bit over the head. Maybe you have to re-watch this episode later on. But so Krishna, you see this verse, Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guru Krishnam Namadhvam Sada Krishnena Khila Shatravo Vinihata Krishnaya Tasmai Nama Krishnad Eva Samuthitam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Tishtati Vishwametadakhilam He Krishna Rakshasvamam. See, 8 different variations of the word Krishna. This is the grammar. So Krishna, Krishnaha. Krishna means actually Krishnaha. And this is Sandhi. This is another rule which we will be going tomorrow. Tomorrow is about Sandhi. That means joining of 2 words. But today is just about pronunciation. So Krishno or Krishnaha, Krishnam, Krishnena, Krishnaya, Krishnat, Krishnasya, Krishne and Krishna. See, Krishnaha means Krishna, the pure form of the noun form. And then Krishnam means unto Krishna or to Krishna. Krishnena means by Krishna. And then Krishnaya means unto, or this is different unto in the sense that Krishnaya to, Krishnam to. See, although Krishnam is also to and Krishnaya is also to, it is actually a little bit different in Sanskrit. Krishnaya. This is also to. This is a bit different. When you offer to Krishna, both are also offering. That's why Krishnam is unto Krishna, meant for Krishna in that way. And Krishnaya, Tasmai Namaha, which is also, how to say, it's almost the same, slightly different. There is a very slight difference. It's very difficult to explain in English. Anyway, so we're not going into this, the meanings now. It's all about sound today. And anyway, Krishnat means from Krishna. Like Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam. From Krishna all the universes came out. So it's easy to understand. Krishnat. Krishnena means by Krishna. Krishnena Akhila Shatravo Vinihata. So many demons were killed by Krishna. So Krishnena. And Krishnad means from Krishna. Many universes emanated. And Krishnasya means of Krishna. Krishnasya dasosmyaham. Of Krishna, I am the servant. I am a servant of Krishna. So Krishnasya. Krishne means in Krishna. Krishne tishtati vishwametad akhilam. In Krishna are situated all the universes. So Krishne means in Krishna. And Krishna means the pure form Krishna. So the sound with the M with the dot on top, that is Anuswara. And is Visarga. H with a dot below, always you see that. That is Visarga. So that are not explained here in the vowels, but actually they are there. Maybe another. Yes, here. Yes, this is Anuswara. Here you will see. This page you will see in your Bhagavad Gita book or Bhagavatam book. I have a copy here. So here when you see all the verses, the Sanskrit and then the pronunciation in the transliteration in English. But then how to pronounce them? So the pronunciation guide is there. You go to your index. Usually many devotees, sometimes I see they don't bother about the pronunciation index, but actually you see here Sanskrit pronunciation guide. I don't know if you can see that. Sanskrit pronunciation guide. So it's page 877 here. So if you go to 877, you will see, and there is explanation how to actually pronounce each sound here. So this is the exact page that I took out on the screen here. So that if you go in and you see this vowels, there is M with the dot on top, Anuswara, and A, E, U. U is, U with the line on top. E is the elongated E is with the I with a line on top, and then R with a dot below. I don't think you can see that. It's a bit blurred, but R with a dot below and a R. And then this is the one, L with the dot below. This is almost not used nowadays. And then A, I, O, ow. And then is not a vowel in itself because you can't write You have to write A and then So actually it's that sound it follows a vowel or a consonant. So therefore it is not a character by itself, but it's added with A. A like this is A, like a 3 and then 31 almost, and then with the line on top, that is A in Sanskrit. That's how you write A in Sanskrit. So, and with a dot on top, if you put a dot on top of this A, that becomes So to write or we have to write A and then put on top. By itself the has no character. So it is denoted by this M with a dot above in the IAST transliteration method that we use. That is called Anuswara, and then Visarga is H with a dot below. This also doesn't have a character in itself. It usually is represented with A and Aha. Actually it's Aha, like, or Ihi. It's not Ihi exactly, but it's Ihi. You stop it there, Ihi. Like Krishna. It's not Krishnaha. That is H-A, Krishnaha. The correct way of pronunciation is Krishnaha. Krishnaha. So you stop it there. It's like, that is Visarga. So these are the vowels. Now we will go into the consonants. Right? So these consonants are, again, vowels, there is no stoppage of the sound. The sound is not stopped, it is only constricted by different movements of the tongue. But in consonants, you actually stop the sound with your tongue touching the palate or touching different parts of the palate or the teeth or whatever. So because you stop it, and therefore it's called consonant when you actually stop. In Sanskrit it is called, what is the word? 1 second. Consonants, Vyanjana. Vyanjana is a Sanskrit word for consonants. In Sanskrit, usually we write Sanskrit. If you want to write Sanskrit in IAST, here M with a dot below, there is a slight variation also in IAST. So we do it as some M with a dot above or N with a dot above, Sanskrita. So Sanskrit, we use like that. But here, this is another method where M with the dot below, Samskrita. That's actually how it is to be written. So you see stops, Vyanjana, consonant are stops. So if you actually can read from this, consonants in Sanskrit are called stops. This is too small for you to look at maybe, but I'll just read it. I can't make it bigger without going out of the screen like that. So I will just read from here. I hope you can see if you maybe put your, but anyway I will read it out for you. So, or can I do like this? I'll be blocked, but maybe I'll just be here. So here, I think that's a little more readable, right? So consonants in Sanskrit are also called stops. This is because they stop the flow of air by means of contact within the mouth by either the tongue or the lips. So when you say pa, pa, so pa is produced when you hold it and then release it, pa. But when you hold it there only and don't release it, it's nothing comes out. So only when you after that open it, pa, then the pa sound comes up. So only that at that time it is with the lips. Otherwise, it's all with the tongue. Full stops, not the dot full stop, but the full stop of the air, sprishta, are made by complete contact that blocks the air. Partial stops, ishat sprishta, are also called semivowels, are made by partial contact that does not stop the air but suppress it through various mouth positions. So, like for example, semivowels are ya, ya, ya. That is actually, it is considered a semivowel. It's like vowel, ya. It is almost like you going backward. Instead of I, ya, from E to A. But somehow it is not classified as a vowel, it's classified as a semivowel. And then va, v. You see, you can produce still sound. When you say ka or pa, you actually can't produce the sound when you are blocking the air. Unless you release, then a pa sound comes. So when you just keep it there, it doesn't come. But when you say va, even when you keep it there, you still can produce sound. L, you can still produce sound. See, la, la. So la is the sound, but even when you put it there, l, I can still produce the sound. So that is what is meant by semivowels. Okay, now there is even more complexity now. The next layer of complexity is going to come out, and that is aspirated and unaspirated, or voiced and unvoiced. Now you will see what I am talking about. Consonants. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I'll do this way. Okay, I hope you can see this. I hope that is big enough. Now, no, not this. This is vowels. I want to show you the consonants. Yeah. So this is the consonants. You see in the beginning, at the top, right at the top, there is unvoiced, unaspirated, unvoiced, aspirated, voiced, unaspirated, voice, aspirated, and resonant or nasal. Now to understand this, let's go back and open up this one, not this. I'll open another one. Or is it here? One second. Oh yeah, it's here. So here, if you see it here, you see that unvoiced and then voiced and then nasals. You see that? Okay, now let us try to understand this part now. So ka, the first is ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Now that is called the velar series. So all the sounds are produced when your tongue is touching the soft palate. Ka. You remember the back of the upper palate, the soft palate. That's where you are touching the tongue, but not with the tip of your tongue, with the back of your tongue. Now, ka, all right. Unvoiced means you will understand it when you actually voice it. Like the difference between ka and ga. When you say ga is coming from here, ga, deeper in the throat, ga. when we say ka, you're not bringing the sound all the way from g, like from all the way deep into from the throat. It is from ka. It's just almost here. That's called unvoiced ka. Ka. So in unvoiced ka, there is aspirated and unaspirated. So first two are unvoiced. As you can see here, unvoiced. It is written there. Unvoiced. So that is ka, and then now aspirated. Aspirated means when you force a breath of air. So ka, when you hold it there, ka, without releasing that sound there, but you can't produce any sound because it's just blocking the sound. But now keep it there and force some air from the throat. So that will become kha. It's like K and H, like blockhead. 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 When you say blockhead, so kha, block, and then after that head, blockhead, kha, ke, blockhead. That kha sound is produced when you ka plus the aspirated, the breath, the force of breath. So this is both are unvoiced because it's not coming from the g. There is g and g. So that is also the same concept but with voiced, with the deeper part of the throat. Whereas it's not just from here. So ka and kha. And then voiced now. Same thing with voiced. That means it is called ghosha and aghosha. So unvoiced is aghosha. Ka and kha is aghosha. And then ga and gha is ghosha, where actually the voice comes out. So, both the voice come out, but from here, from deeper part of the throat. You just try ka and ga, ga. You have to go even deeper. So now ka, kha, and then ga and gha with the force of air. Gha, with the force. So that means gha. So that's the difference. So sometimes when you're not used to this, everything is pronounced as ga, 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 ga. Like for example, in Tamil, this difference, this voiced, aspirated, these differences are not there. Everything is, like for example, ka, these velar sounds are all produced in almost the same way. Ga. They pronounce like ga, like that. Whereas there is ka, kha, ga, gha, it's all like ga. So, but in other languages, in Indian languages, it is, all these differences are there. Ka, kha, ga, gha. And here you can see the matra. When ka is added with these vowels. So a, I, u, u. So you add ka before that. Ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku. And then with kha, kha, ki, ki, ku, ku, ke. Or kr, kr. And then kr also. And then kr. And then for ka is ke. Kr, ke, kai, ko, kau, kam, kha. So each of these consonants are added with those vowels, and they are also, we learn, this is called matra. Matra means when you add the consonant to the vowel together. So similarly, ga, ga, gi, gi, gu, gu, gr, ge, gai, go, gau, gam, gah. And then gha, gha, ghi, ghi, ghu, ghu, ghr. And then ghe, ghai, gho, ghau, gham, ghah, ghah. So in this way, by joining each of these, all these different sounds are produced. So now we have seen the ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. This is a little bit tricky sound, okay? But don't worry about how to pronounce this N with the dot above. How to pronounce? Keep the tongue at the same place. So what is happening there? So the sound is blocked in the mouth completely, but it's going through the nose. It's going through actually this nasal sound is coming entirely from the nose. It's not coming from the mouth at all. So because you're completely stopping it at the mouth. Try saying with mouth and nose closed. So if you close your nose and say you won't be able to produce any sound. Why? Because actually that sound comes from the nose. This is called nasal. When we, with the mouth, pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. When you say ma, you see it is close, but where the sound is coming from. So what happens is, the sound goes into the mouth, resonates there like a chamber, like a resonance chamber, and then comes out of the nose. So when you close both nose and mouth, you can't make any sound. So ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, nga. So ka, where the tongue is touching the palate, soft palate, keep the tongue at the same place, but do a nasal sound. Nga. That is how that is pronounced. Nga. So easy to learn because just using your tongue at the ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. So unfortunately, I cannot see you actually pronouncing it. So I do not know if you are making any mistakes. So maybe, I do not know, maybe we should have a more interactive class where, but how many of you are here? 82 of you are here. So that will be difficult for 82%, then I have to check the sounds of every single person. But try to understand the concept. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Alright, that is velar sounds. The next series of consonant sounds are palatal sounds, and those are when the tongue, the middle of the tongue touches the top of the hard palate. The front part of the palate is hard palate. Alright, the back part of the palate is soft palate. So in the hard palate, at the center of the top, when the tongue touches there, not with the tip of the tongue, but with the center of the tongue. Cha, cha. Okay. Now that is unvoiced. Ja, cha and ja. The tongue touches the same part, but voiced. That is called ghosha. Ghosha. Aghosha, unvoiced, is cha, and with the breath of air, cha. So stop the sound and then like cha and ha together, cha. So a good example in English would be thatch. Actually, it is not a grammatically correct phrase, but thatched house. But you say thatch house, thatch and house together. Thatch house, cha, thatch house. So cha, that cha sound, that is aspirated, unvoiced. So unvoiced, unaspirated, unvoiced, aspirated. Palatal sound, that is cha and cha. So palatal, unvoiced, unaspirated is cha. Palatal, unvoiced, aspirated is cha. And palatal, voiced, unaspirated is ja. Voiced, ja, from deeper part of the throat, right? But the tongue touching the same way, and it's not with the force of air. Ja. When you do it with the force of air, ja. So there is ja. Good example in English would be, actually, if you see the Bhagavad Gita in that, they will actually they will help you understand with English as well. Hedgehog. You know the word when hedgehog is you see this hedgehog. The sound that is produced by D-G-E-H, j, hedgehog, j, that j is with J with a H together, not jaha, not chaha, not again with the, some people, I mean when you're not used to it, you can make this sound like instead of kha, you may say kaha, It is not kaha. Together, there is no K-A-H-A, K-H-A, kha. Ka with aspirated. Ga is not gaha, gha. Before even you release ga and then say ha, put the force of the breath gha instead of saying ga, gha. So that's how you do it. It's not gaha, it's not kaha. And in palatal it's not chaha, it's cha. And ja and jha, not jaha, jha. And then nya. Nya is same part but nasal sound. Nya. So this count, you are actually stopping. When you say cha, that's so when you are saying cha, if you don't release your tongue from the top, ch, only when you release the cha sound comes. But if you don't release, nothing comes out. That's why it's called a stop consonant. Cha. So, but here, nya, you're touching it at the top. But the sound is coming where? Where from? Nose. That is called the nasal sound. So, nya. So that's how it's pronounced. Palatal nasal sound. So all the while, the consonants are in this order. With the different parts is the different varga. That's why Prabhupada says this material life as pavarga, which is the last one. We will go to labial series. Pa varga is pa ba bhama, and that actually is material world, and the spiritual world is apavarga. I will explain why later on when we get there. So this velar, palatal, retroflex, dental and labial series, and in each series there is unaspirated, unvoiced, unaspirated, unvoiced, aspirated, voiced, unaspirated, voiced, aspirated, and then nasal. This is the way. Alright. Now let's go to the next one, next series, which is a retroflex. All in Sanskrit it is called, forgot the word. Okay, let me just see. So Kanthya is velar, palatal is talavya, retroflex is murdhanya. Murdhanya. So this is quite easy to pronounce. Ta. Some people pronounce it as ta. I see this especially in Singapore, and maybe in Philippines as well. To say take, like intake. So they say take. It's like ta as in what is a good word? Ta. I can't think of an English word. I don't know why. So ta. It's not take. It's take. So how to pronounce this? So this is retroflex. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. So here the tongue. I don't know if you have noticed the part of the tongue that touches the top. This is retroflex. Ta. You see here is retroflex resonant, that is na. So when you are stopping, and then this is how the air goes. The blue line, you see that? The blue line, that is where the air goes like that. Na. That is a nasal sound. That's why it comes out of the nose, as you can see in the picture here. So now we are not talking about the resonant, we are talking about the whole series. So ta, the tip of the tongue touches the top of the hard palate. Very easy to do this. Ta. And then now same ta with force of breath. Ta. Ta. Not taha. Not taha. Ta. Right? Ta. That is unvoiced, if you remember. Unvoiced. You see that? At the top, unvoiced. Here. Unvoiced and voiced. Okay? And then within unvoiced, there is unaspirated and aspirated. So you look at this. Ta. In Sanskrit. So this is Sanskrit alphabet, and in the below is how we would write in our English or Romanized transliteration or IAST transliteration method. So ta. and tha. Unvoiced, unaspirated, unvoiced, aspirated. And then d. You see ta and d. D comes from below, deeper part of the throat. D. And then dha. Dha is again same thing below, but with force of breath. Dha. And then finally na. 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 This na. When we say Krishna, this is the na that we are pronouncing, or supposed to pronounce. It's not Krishna. Na. It's na. Krishna. So that's how it's pronounced. Na. Same thing as you would pronounce ta. The tongue is slightly rolled up against the top. The same position, na, na, nasal sound, na. Try to say na, but with the tongue at the top, na. So that is na. That in English we write as N with a dot below. As you can see, Krishna, na. That na. This na is what we are pronouncing here. Krishna. So this is the retroflex series or the Murdhanya series. And then there is the dental series, as you can see here. Dental series, which is ta. So this, the tongue has to touch at the joint of the gums and the teeth. Ta, at the upper teeth. Ta. Ta. Now same ta with force of breath, aspirated. Tha, not taha. Not taha. Tha. Tha. Alright? Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Na. This is the normal N, which you already know. Na. Na. So, ta, tha, da, dha, na. So, as you can see, as we go from velar to palatal to retroflex to dental to labial, we are moving from velar, palatal, and then retroflex is the same part but with the tongue rolled up, that is retroflex, and then the teeth, dental, and finally the labial, which is the lips. So we are moving from here to here. Remember in the vowels also, a, e, u. You see the same order from here to here. So you can see an order, a system there, the order in which the vowels and the consonants are arranged. So dental. So now we are moving closer to the lips. Okay. Now it's the teeth. Dental. Ta, tha. Then now voiced. The difference between ta and the. The is when we are using the voice, like deep inside the throat. The. Or without that, ta. The. Ta. The. You see them. This lesson is all about sounds, so many sounds. So it's important because this is the foundation, the basis of the whole, all the shlokas and all that we want to learn. This is the foundation. So ta and tha, the, dha, same the with force of breath, aspirated. Dha, it's not daha. Daha means you're doing, the force of breath is coming after you have already released the. It's an unvoiced the or unaspirated the, and then ha followed by ha closely after. No, it should not be closely after, it should be together. It's not daha, no, dha. While releasing it with the air, dha. So that's dha, ta, tha, da, dha. For those who already know Hindi and Indian languages, it may be boring because you already know these sounds, but it may be interesting because of the science behind it. You see how we have to understand our vocal system to know why the order of the alphabets are in this way. It would have been so nice if in school, when we were taught, to all Indians who are watching this, when we were taught our alphabets, if we were taught in this way, we would understand it much better and it would be much more interesting. But unfortunately, we were never told why it is first ka and then cha and then ta and then tha and then pa. We just learned it. There is no order. I mean, there is order, but we never were taught the reason behind that order. But when we understand it, we appreciate it so much more, how much more scientific this is. Now compare, after this, you compare English alphabet. And where is the order? A, B, C, D, E, F. G. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. There is no order. Sometimes it is produced from here, sometimes from the lips, sometimes from the back, sometimes from in the center. It's all over the place. There is no order. Although we are used to that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. But we are just, because we have been taught that way, it's easier for us to understand. But there is no order. But here you see so much order and signs. So that's why our Sanskrit is so scientific. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. Na is nasal sound. The sound is entirely coming from the nose. That's why you try saying na with nose closed. You can't say it. No sound will come. If you close, your mouth is open. You can't. Although your mouth is open, because in the mouth it is stopped. The air is completely stopped. Na. And it is coming from the nose. So try to understand that sound is all about manipulating our vocal cavity. Just like if a wind is blowing and if there is a small gap in the door, that sound which is different from when the door is wide open. When it bristles through the tree leaves, and that sound is different. So all sounds are produced by force of air, but how it is stopped by different things. When it is hitting glass, it is different. When it is hitting metal, it is different. When it is hitting wood, it is different. So the whole sound is produced in air, but with all these stoppings and with this manipulation, with this compression. So same thing with our voice box, with our whole vocal system, right? Next series, Pa Varga. So first is Velar is Ka Varga. Varga means series. Varga means series. Velar, Ka Varga. Ka Varga means because the first alphabet is Ka, so that is called Ka series. Then Cha series, Ta series, Ta series and Pa series. After that is semivowels, sibilants and glottal. But so this Pa Varga is what Prabhupada used to refer to as material world. Why? We will go there. But first we will learn the pronunciation first. Pa. So the sound is stopped by the lips this time, not by the tongue. Pa. The tongue is doing almost nothing. It's just relaxing. Pa. The tongue is right at the bottom. It's not doing. The whole stoppage is by the lips. Just like ooh. It's not stopping but constricted. This time we stop. Pa. Pa. And then pa with voiced. Aspirated with the breath, the force of breath. So unvoiced is pa. Compare it with ba. Ba. Pa. Ba. Ba is deeper in the throat. Ba. That is voiced. Or ghosha. This is aghosha. Unvoiced is aghosha. In Sanskrit, aghosha. So ba, pa, ba, bha, bha. Same thing. So labial unvoiced, unaspirated, pa. Labial unvoiced, aspirated, pa. In Hindi, this pa is pronounced as fa. But in Sanskrit, it is wrong. It is wrong in Sanskrit to say it as fa. No. Pa. It has to be pronounced as pa. What you see is what you get. That's why in Indian languages, in Sanskrit is perfect. But the other Indian languages are derivatives of Sanskrit. So sometimes there are, it's not exactly what you see is what you get. It is different. Like the last class, the last session of this series of the Sloka learning will be the learning of Bengali. There you will see it very prominently that what you see is not what you get because Bengali accent is different. So we will see that in the last session, I will tell you. But so same with Hindi also. When you see this, they say fa, but in Sanskrit there is no fa, pa. So it is a very scientific sound which is pa with the lips closed. The whole pa varga is with the lips closed. There is no fa with the teeth touching no, that isn't wrong. So everything is with the lips closed. Pa, same pa with force of breath, aspirated. Pa, not paha, not paha. Pa. Before you even you release the pa, do it with the breath. Pa, pa. English equivalent would be top house. I'm just making it up. There's no phrase like that, but top house. top house, pa. The P followed by H immediately, not topa house, it's not paha, top house, pa. That's how it's pronounced. So pa, and then ba. Same like pa, but with the deeper part of the throat. Ba. And then now with the same ba with force of breath. Bha. Not baha. Like clubhouse. It's not clubhouse. Clubhouse. So clubhouse. Bha. That's how it's pronounced. Clubhouse. So bha. So this is aspirated, voiced, aspirated. Finally, nasal. Ma. It's closed. Where is it coming from? Nose. So the nose is where it's coming from. That's why it's called nasal. So what is happening? It is resonating inside the mouth chamber, and then going up from the nose. It is coming out. That's why it's called nasal. All the nasal sounds happen the same way. Velar, palatal, retroflex, dental, labial. Nasal sounds. So in the velar, it is stopped. So the resonance is a little bit only. As you can see here. You see, velar resonant. You see, the air, the passage of air is, the sound is the blue line. As you can see here, the blue line is going from the here directly into the nose. That is the nose. The mouth is below. You see, it's completely stopped there. But palatal, cha, like cha, but put the tongue same way. Do the nasal sound. So the air is moving a little bit inside the mouth and then going up. So that's why this is a different sound. And then there is retroflex resonant. Na, ta, ta, da, dha, na. So that sound is a little more. You see the diagram here, the blue line. Here it is very short, this thing going up. But before it goes up here, you see more. Na. But now you see here, dental. Na. You see how much more it is going inside the mouth and resonating and then coming out from the nose. Finally, ma is right at the lips. So the sound is fully resonating in the mouth and then going out of the nose. So this is how the nasal sounds are produced. So this is the vargas. Now why Prabhupada says pa varga is materialistic life and apavarga vartmani. Apavarga means transcendental. So because pa varga, each of these pa is parishram, stands for parishram. Not here, but when we say pa varga, comparing it with materialistic life is full of suffering. So each of these pa, pa, ba, bha, ma presents 5 different types of sufferings, and that is material world. So pa means parishram, hard labor. Parishrama means, shrama means labor. Parishrama means very hard labor. So in this world we have to work very, very hard. Parishrama. And then there is pa. Pa stands for phena. Phena means foam. So foam, when a horse runs so fast, it foams in the mouth. It means it's so, even when we run very, very hard until to the point of complete exhaustion, almost to the point of going unconscious, that time they will be foaming in the mouth. Sometimes when people go unconscious, they may foam in the mouth. That is called phena. So parishram, the hard labor is so much that it foam in the mouth. Of course, maybe not literally, but to the point of exhaustion. We get exhausted in this material world. We work so hard and the results are almost. So that actually is the next one. Vyartha. Vyartha means it's frustrating. It's frustrating because the result is almost insignificant. Even after you achieve the goal that you wanted to achieve, there's still so many things not satisfying in the life. So vyarthatha means, so that is frustration. So that is the third element of materialistic life. And then there is the fourth one, which is bha. Bha stands for bhaya. Bhaya means fear. Bhaya. So everyone is fearful. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. So everyone has this anxiety. So it's bhaya, and that's why we go to work. That's why we have defense systems. We have insurance. Why we have insurance? Bhaya is fear. So this is another aspect of materialistic life. And finally, ma stands for marana or mrityu, which is death. So hard labor, foaming to the point of foaming, and then leading to frustration, and then finally there is fear, and finally there is death. So materialistic life is called pavarga because of this, and apavarga is transcendental life, spiritual life. That is called liberation. Apavarga means liberation because just opposite. When the prefix is used, it is opposite of pavarga. So pavarga is these five things. Apavarga means opposite of this. That means there is no hard labor, there is no foaming in the mouth, there is no frustration, there is no fear, and there is no death. That is the spiritual world. Therefore, Vaikuntha is called Vigata Kuntha Yasmaditi Vaikuntha. Kuntha means anxiety. So in this world, all the sufferings are there. In the Vaikuntha, Vigata Kuntha. Vigata means there is no absence of anxiety. Vigata Kuntha Yasmad. In that place where there is no misery, that is Vaikuntha. So that's why Apavarga means liberation. So that's why Prabhupada explained in this way. Pavarga, labial. This is actually where it is coming from. Now we will go to the semivowels. Semivowels, ya. Ya is like I, the vowel I, A to E. Now it is from E to A. Ya. It's like that. Ya. It's not Iya, but Ya. You don't actually pronounce the E in the beginning. You just go directly from that mouth position to A. Ya. Ya. Not Iya. Ya. So somehow it is classified as semivowel. Ya. And then ra. So some parts of the world they cannot pronounce this, especially in America and British. They can't pronounce ra. They say ra. It's not exactly a ra. It's ra. So why it is called semivowel? Because you are touching the top. You are stopping, but you are also producing sound at the same time. So vowel is when the sound is unobstructed, and consonant is when the sound is obstructed. But here it is kind of obstructed and also not obstructed. You are obstructing it, but still the sound is going around the tongue and going out of the mouth. And then because it's like vibrating at the top there, touching and not touching, touching and not touching. At the top, so that's how it's pronounced. So ra is a semivowel. La. So when you can still produce sound, you see, although your tongue is touching at the top, the sound is going from around in the mouth, around the tongue, and then going out of the mouth. So that's why it is stop and not stop. So that's why it's a semivowel. And then va is also the same category. Va is still the sound is coming, but you're stopping it. It's like the teeth, the top teeth is touching the bottom lip, so it is stop kind of, but there is slight allowance of air to go out, the sound to go out. So there is va, that is semivowel. So that is, I think, quite straightforward. And then we will go to sibilance. Sibilance is the S sound. So there are three variants of S. This, I think, for devotees, it's the most confusing part of the spellings. When we say Krishna or Shastra, there is two types of S there, and Shushrushaha, there is two types of S, and then I think there is also word Sahasrasa. There are words with also all the three also, but anyway, so there are three types of S. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it here, but I will write it here, easy to see. So first is I'll try to be as neat as possible. So in the top is the Sanskrit Devanagari script. So that is this Devanagari script. And in the bottom it is Romanized or English script, but with all those dots and lines, accents. Now, in Sanskrit you would write as it's shown on the top. At below is what we would see in our usual when we show the Sloka, Śloka. It's not Sloka, it's Śloka. Śloka is the first one. Śloka. And Prabhupada was very particular. We saw in the first episode yesterday that you see how much he stressed, especially that one lecture where he wanted the devotees to pronounce it perfectly. Ra, the A, the Sh and the Sh. So now we will try to understand how to produce this sibilant sound. So why is this categorized as different? So although it is consonant, you see you can still produce the sound. See, you can still produce a sound even though it is closed. It's not exactly closed, it's almost closed. There is kind of touch, but it's also not touch. And you're forcing the air through it. The breath is forced through that very small gap. S is dental. It's like your tongue is almost at the near the teeth. But the breath you're forcing it through that small gap. That is sibilant. Same thing. So first, sh. Sh is produced when the tongue is like when you're producing when you're saying ch. At the same position, I forgot my own pronunciation. At the same position, sh is produced from that. Ch, the tongue, keep it at the same position, ch, but don't touch it, very close to the top, and force the breath. Just like s, say sh. So that's where it is. Sh. It's almost like ch, but you're not touching it. Sh. Force the air out with the tongue at the ch position. Sh. So when we say Śloka or when we say Shastra, when we say Shastra, there are two S here. So sh is sh from this one. And what is that S with the dot below? This S with the dot below is what you see when you read the word Krishna. That S with the dot below is pronounced sh, like Velar. Ka. In that position of ka, but sh. So the air is forced through that sh. So it is different from sh, which is at the ch position. It is now at the ka position. Sh. So that is the difference between sh and sh. It is almost, if you are not aware of this, you may not see that much of a difference. But when you know, then you can actually notice. If we cannot say Śloka, it's Śloka, not Śloka. You see that? More of a voice involved there. Sh. It's also coming with the voiced deeper in the throat, sh, and back of the mouth. And the ka position, velar position, kanthya. Sh. Whereas sh, it's unvoiced. It's not like sh. Oh, that is not there. Sh. So sh is more voiced and from the back of the throat. And then the breath is forced through that small gap. That's why when the wind, when the storm, or a strong wind is passing through a small gap, it produces the hissing sounds. Hiss. That's why it's called a hiss, because it's very small gap. The air is passing through that hissing sound. So that sound, or sh, that sound, or these sounds you will see in the waterfall, or that sounds. So these are the sibilants. So now if you want to pronounce Shastra, there are two S you can see, one with the accent on top, or in French we say accent on top, and one simple S without any dot or accent on top. So the first is pronounced as sh, and A with the line above is a. So sha, then S with nothing, no dot, no accent, s. So shas, shastra, tra. T is the dental one, t, and ra and a. So shastra. It's not sastra. It's not sastra. Sometimes, of course, I don't blame you because you were not taught in this way. So devotees make mistakes. So they say sastra. It's not sastra. It's not ah. It's not. You see, the last a doesn't have a line on top. You see, so that is a, not ah. Shastra. But here there is a line on top. So that is ah. So, and then it is not sastra. Sastra means it is the same as S. But no, here S with the accent on top first. So sh. And then the second one is sa. Shastra. That's how it's pronounced. Sh, remember, cha position. And sh is ka position. Sh. And then sa is dental, ta position. Sa. So sh, sa. Somehow it's not in the order of from here to here. It is from here and then here and then here. I do not know why. But anyway, you can see how to pronounce it. And when we say Krishna, Krishna. So it is, you see, now you will better understand how to pronounce Krishna. It's not Krishna. That's why the word, when we write as Krishna, this is very ambiguous spelling, because Kri, in Sanskrit we can either write it as, we can write it like this. This also produces the sound Kri. Actually, this is the correct Kr. So this, for those of you who do not know Sanskrit or Hindi, it will be a bit difficult to understand what I am saying. So, but it's not Krishna. And SH, it can be either this or this, meaning this in Sanskrit or this. Which one? So when we say SH, it can be sh or sh. Both can be SH. Right? So but when we use S with the dot below, then we know exactly which one, which sh. It's behind Krishna. And then N is also, there are two. Actually, there are many, as we can see here. You see how many? Wait a second. How many N are there in the this? I can't draw on this. At the last, the nasal sounds. N. Only last one is ma, M. Others all N. Which N? How to pronounce? So this is N with the dot below. Na, ta varga. The tongue on the top of the tip of the tongue on the retroflex or cerebral or murdhanya. So the tongue is touching at the top. Na. Try to pronounce it as I am saying. Na. Tongue is slightly rolled up, and the back of the tongue, not like, you don't have to roll your tongue all the way like, like a what is that? Roll. I forgot there is a preparation. What is that? Swiss roll. Yeah, Swiss roll. You don't have to do like a Swiss roll, complete roll of the tongue, but it's like slight, very slight. Na at the top. Na. So Krishna. It's not Kri. This R with dot is not equal to this. It's not. I'm congesting here. The whole thing is congested. Wait. Here, I'll draw it. this is not equal to this. So it's Krishna. It's not Krishna or Krushna. Krishna. R. Not Ri, not Ru, not Ra. R. Krishna. Krishna. So that's the actual pronunciation of the word Krishna. Okay, although I am saying all these things, not many can pronounce it exactly. We should try our best. I'm teaching these things because so that you understand the whole science. We should try our best to replicate the sounds. Actually, it is possible if you practice a little bit. So please try to practice. It may take some time for some of you. Don't worry. You can watch this video. I know it's very long, but what is the time? 1.5 hours. So yeah, so it can be a little bit complicated. It doesn't take much time actually. It doesn't take much time. If you understand the order, little practice and you will be up to speed and you can pronounce all the words. Like, how would you pronounce this? Not Thakur, Thakur. Sometimes when you don't know how to pronounce it, devotees may say Thakur. No, it's not Thakur. Thakur, Thakura. In Bengali or Hindi we say Thakur. In Sanskrit, Thakura, Ra. Ra, you see the A and the N. But in Bengali we may say Thakur. The at the end is not pronounced. That's why you sometimes see Prabhupada, you see Prabhupada. When we say Prabhupada, why we say Prabhupada? Actually it's Prabhupada, right? Prabhu, it's not Prabhu, Prabhu, BH, Bha, Pa Varga, so it is labial with the lips, voiced from here, ba, and aspirated, bha. Labial, voiced, aspirated sound, bha. Prabhu, pada, pa, the line on top, and the, Prabhupada. So that's how it's actually supposed to be pronounced in the pure Sanskrit form. But Prabhupada is almost the last PADA is like, it's pronounced like this, Prabhupada, with the A not pronounced. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just that Bengali or Hindi is pronounced like that. If you want to be pure Sanskrit, it's Prabhupada. Prabhupada. That's pure Sanskrit. It's not Prabhu. Sometimes I see some writing it as Prabhupada. Prabhupada. No, that's totally wrong. It's not Prabhupada. It's Prabhupada. Pada. Alright. So we will try to now, I do not know if we have time for these things, but I wanted to actually, you let me know in the comments if we continue, because I wanted to show some examples of words. I think we will quickly go, I think, because otherwise without examples it's not so good, right? We will look at a few examples of Arjuna. Arjuna, A. This is A, the first vowel A, and this is also first, and this is also U. A, I, U. This is J. Arjuna. N is the normal N, na, normal, as in normal, the N in normal. But N with the, for Krishna is, when you, in English, equivalent will be R and N, like barn. When you say barn, this na, sorry, the na sound is actually like this RN sound, rn, barn, barn. So the tongue is touching at the top, rna, that is the rna sound. So Arjuna, that is A. A means A Brahma Bhuvanal Lokan, Punaravartino Arjuna, A Brahma or Shastra. Sha, that is A. So all these verses, the Sanskrit words, they are made of these alphabets only. So it's quite, I don't know if you have to go for each and every letter. I think you can do that homework yourself. I think if I'm going to do, there'll be so many words like that. What we can do though is chant some shlokas with all these combinations. Maybe I can show you some shlokas and a couple of shlokas. I can't do a very comprehensive one. This you have to do probably on your own. So what I have taught you is the basics. So as I say, in 7 or 8 sessions, I can't. Even I'm not a Sanskrit scholar myself, and I can't teach also all that I know in 8 sessions as well. But these are the basics, and actually, if you just practice these basics with all the, that's why Prabhupada said, I have given the diacritic marks. I have given the diacritic. So many lectures he said this. I have given the diacritic marks. I have given the pronunciation. I have given the meaning of each word. Why? Because I want you to learn pronouncing it, understanding it, chanting it, preaching it. So you practice. Now I've already taught you the basics. So practice these sounds when you read the shlokas. Keep. What I suggest is this, practically speaking. So this sheet here, maybe this one. This one you keep it with you on the side, and then when you look at the shloka, you try to j and d, which is the one, which varga it is, and which how to pronounce it. I could have actually taught you without this whole alphabet, this whole thing, just how to pronounce a, e, and all the diacritic marks, na and nya and ma and na and ma and all these things, but you wouldn't appreciate it as much as when it is presented in this way. Now it is very scientific. Now you know there is a pattern, there is a system, there is a structure in place, and that is this. It's so scientific. So now you will better appreciate, and when we say na, you will know where to find na. Oh, retroflex. If the tongue is touching at the top, so that is retroflex, and with the dot below, oh, that is na. Okay, so that's how you need to understand these sounds. Then you will better appreciate how to pronounce this, all the words. So you go and practice. You take a Bhagavad Gita or the Shloka book. This is, yesterday we were talking about the Shloka book. These are two different covers. The older one used to be this one. Sorry, the older one used to be this one. It is Srila Prabhupada Shlokas. But now you wouldn't find it in this way. You would find it with this cover. Selected verses from the Vedic scriptures. This is how you would get this. It's the same book basically, but old and new versions. When I started, I was using this one, and now it is like this. So it's the same thing. It's actually all the shlokas that Prabhupada used. I would rather hold this one because this is what you will be seeing now. So in this, if you can see the table of contents, there is the selected verses. I don't know if you can see that. Selected verses from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, selected verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ishopanishad, Upadeshamrita, Brahma Samhita, and if you open the page, sorry, you see Garuda Puran. Wait a second, I can't see myself, so I am trying to. Okay, you see from the Puranas, all these so many verses. So I would suggest you go to the maybe Bhagavad Gita verses for a beginning in the start, and chant those verses with this sheet. This sheet opened up. It's unfortunately this sheet is not. It should have been actually there in this book, but it is there in the Bhagavad Gita. And is there in the Bhagavad Gita. You can open that page. Here it is 877. Maybe it's the same page or not. I don't know. So you can open that page and then keep it at the side. And then when you see the marks, the diacritic marks, take effort. Now take a little bit effort to pronounce them correctly. After you are used to it, you will be so much happier because you will know exactly how to pronounce it. Oh, what is happening? Wait a second, my display is somehow not connected now. Wait a second. I don't know why was that. Anyway, we have come to the end of the class. Luckily, we did not have this problem while during the class. I'm trying to connect it back. Give me a second. So I hope, anyway, we have come to the end of the session. But I'm just worried why it is not detecting the display. Oh yeah. Oh. One second, huh? 1 second. It's kind of acting a little bit weirdly. So I disconnected for a while. Since we're anyway at the end of the class and by Krishna's grace it went all good until now. Now I have to figure out how to use it for the tomorrow's session because I have to fix this issue. Let's see how that happens. I will not waste your time. So, thank you very much for coming on board, and I hope you have learned something in this lesson. And if you can put it into practice, it will be very, very good, and you will be able to learn all the shlokas. This is the foundation, and tomorrow we will look at sandhi, which is the joining and division of words. And I think that is a much easier, or maybe not as long as this class. So anyway, and if you have any questions until now, we will take up any questions. And I do not know how I am going to show the answers without, if I have to show without the screen. It's a bit worrying for me. Oh, there we have it. Okay. Krishna's grace. Good. Hare Krishna. Okay, now we will take any questions. Do we have questions? There are a few only. Okay. Vishnu Teja. Good. He has asked a good question. I like it. Is bhava more important than pronunciation? Is pronunciation more important or bhava more important? Bhava. The answer is bhava. Then why are we learning pronunciation? Because that will help you understand and learn these shlokas. It is just like if we did not know, if we were completely uneducated and if we did not know alphabets, we would not even be able to read, right? So it's just alphabets. These are just alphabets, just in Sanskrit. Of course, I did not explain the signs of, what is it called? Syllables. Yeah, I missed it. Okay, before we take questions, I just want to touch upon the syllables. So in Sanskrit, the alphabets are all syllable based. So in a sense, syllable is when there is only, syllable is a packet of sound in which there is only one and only one vowel. Alright? There is only one vowel. So there is no two vowels. So for example, bhaya, when I say bhaya, or shastra, for example, this word shastra, there are how many syllables here? 2. So sha and stra. In each of these packets of sounds, there is only one vowel. So that one vowel is, when the packet of sound has only one vowel, that is a syllable. So although in English we have 6 alphabets, in Sanskrit, this is in Sanskrit, if you write Shastra in Sanskrit. So there are only 2 characters, you see 2 alphabets, Sha and Stra. In English, you won't be able to probably divide into which are actually the 2 syllables. Like I may think Shas is one and Tra is one, but no, that is wrong. Sha is one and Stra is one. You will understand that if you understand the actual Devanagari script, which is here, Shastra in the Devanagari. Sha is Sha plus A ki matra. So sha and stra is stra, half sa and then tra. So tra is again two words, ta and ra together, tra. So in this way we can understand. So in Sanskrit you see it's only two alphabets, sha and stra. Stra is a combination of two alphabets, but it's one alphabet together. So this is the advantage of Sanskrit. So as many syllables there are, that many alphabets there are. Now if I say, let's take a longer word, apavarga, apavarga, 4, right? 4 syllables, apavarga. But if I write in English, 8 alphabets. If I write in Sanskrit, a, pa, var, ga, you see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Apavarga, 4 syllables, 4 alphabets. The word is formed of 4 alphabets. Ga and ra. Ra before the ga is rga. So apavarga. So if you want to divide in English, a, pa, va, rga. Not var and ga. No, that is wrong. It is va and rga. As you can see in the Sanskrit, this is rga. So anyway, that is more technical, but this is what I wanted to say, that syllables and alphabets is the same in Sanskrit, whereas syllables is a separate subject altogether from alphabets in English. That's why the phonetics is much easier in Sanskrit. That's why Sanskrit is the most, even in computation, even for computers, they say Sanskrit is the most easiest language, because what you see is what you get. It is very clear. In English, what you see is not what you get, as we have already seen in the beginning of the class. Like all those knife, Q, and all this. For example, if there is, I will just take another word, K-N-O-W, no, and no. What is the difference in pronunciation? There is no difference in pronunciation. So that is the imperfection in English. But in Sanskrit there is no such thing. What you see is what you get. So when we see a word in Sanskrit, it's exactly the same way to be pronounced. Apavarga. So that is syllable based. So that I missed out. So that is how perfect Sanskrit is. So now we will go back to the question, bhava important or pronunciation is important? So bhava. So sometimes, for example, when we go to China, we went many times to China. So the devotees there, they can't pronounce as clearly, and even American devotees probably, unless they are actually practiced in Sanskrit pronunciation, they may not be able to pronounce the Sanskrit words clearly. For example, ra, they can't say ra easily. Ra, like Krishna, they say Krishna. It's not Krishna, it's Krishna, or it's not even Krishna, it's Krishna, as we have learnt. So they can't pronounce it well, and the Chinese, they would say like something like Klesna, in this way. It's much different from what it's. But the Krishna is, Lord Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana. There is one nice verse in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. I think it is quoted from, I don't know which Puran, but I don't want to take it out now. I don't know how to take it out because it's in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. So it is said, Murkho vadati Vishnaya, Dhiro vadati Vishnave, Ubhayostu samam punyam bhavagrahi janardana. I think this is Chaitanya Bhagavat. If anybody of you can put it in the comments, that will be helpful. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, I think in the Adi or Antilila, Antya Khanda, Adi Khanda, chapter 1, text 108 or something. It is there, this verse. I'm just guessing, maybe I'm wrong with the numbers. But the verse is like this. Murkho vadati Vishnaya, Dhiro vadati Vishnave, Ubhayostu samam punyam bhavagrahi janardana. So now, grammatically, Murkha means fool. Illiterate would say Vishnaya, like Krishnaya. Krishnaya means to Krishna, unto Krishna. So you may say in the same way, so Krishna, Krishnaya. So Vishnu, Vishnaya. But actually grammatically it is wrong. It is not, because it is Krishna and Vishnu. When it's U, ending with U, it's become Vishnave. Vishnave. It's not Vishnaya. But an illiterate who is not, who does not have sound knowledge of the grammar, he may say Murkho vadati Vishnaya. But Dhiro, one who is actually, educated in grammar very well, he will say Vishnave, which is actually correct grammatically. The first one is grammatically wrong. Ubhayostu samam punyam. Yes, Malati Priya Mataji. Thank you very much. Chaitanya Bhagavat Adikhanda. Yes. Ubhayostu samam punyam. Ubhayostu samam punyam means, Ubhaya means both. Tu samam means same, punyam. Both will get the same benefit of chanting because bhavagrahi Janardana. Janardhan, Krishna he accepts the bhava, the mood in which you are chanting. If you are chanting, of course, it does not mean that when I can chant, I should do my best. But even if that best is not correct, it doesn't matter. The best is what Krishna wants to do. We should try our best. Like in Ramayana, Hanuman and all the Vanaras were throwing big stones, and Hanuman were throwing the biggest stone when they were constructing that Ram Setu, that bridge to Lanka. And all the monkeys were throwing big stones, and Hanuman was throwing the biggest ones, most powerful. And then there was a squirrel, small squirrel. He was also throwing stones. How big can a squirrel throw? So he was throwing. So Hanuman said, no, please move out of the way. What is the use of your stone anyway? It doesn't make any difference. No, Ram said, no. What the squirrel is doing and what you are doing, Hanuman, is the same for me. Because Bhavagrahi Janada. He is doing his best, you are doing your best. It's not that if Hanuman throws small stones, that is not correct. Of course, Hanumanji doesn't do anything wrong. I'm giving an example. But, so if we have the capacity, Krishna said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, give me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, water. And if I am a billionaire and I give, Krishna's leaf, let I give a leaf. Water, little bit water. No, according to my position, I should give my best. That's why Prabhupada said, Krishna does not see how much you give. Krishna sees how much you keep. If I keep, suppose a poor man comes and donates $10 here, and his daily wage may be $12, and he comes and puts $10 here. That means, let's take a better number. His daily wage is $10 and he's putting $8. So 80% of his daily wage he's putting here. Compared to that, if a billionaire comes and puts $10,000, but he's earning billions, the percentage is the bhava. Bhava is not the amount, it's the percentage of how much I can do and how much I am doing. That is bhava. So bhava, if I can pronounce well, and if I'm careless about it and I don't care, that is not good bhava. Bhava grahi jana, Krishna will understand. No, Krishna, I will pronounce anyhow. Pronunciation is not important, bhava is important. Bhava is what then? We should do our best. That is bhava. If we do slacken and we do our own way, that is not good bhava. We don't have enough feelings for Krishna. We should offer the best thing for Krishna. Right? So within our capacity, our best thing. That's also stated in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I think 11, 27, 54, no, somewhere it is said. There is a verse that we should offer. Maybe some of you can help me with that verse in the comments. Sorry, I'm giving you some work here. So that there it is said we should offer the best things in our possession to Krishna. That is correct. So although Krishna asked, why did he ask Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam? So that even the poorest man can give something to Krishna. But it does not mean that a rich man, I should not give. Like Duryodhan prepared a lavish feast, very, very grand. But he had no devotion because he was against Krishna's devotees, the Pandavas. But Vidura's house was very simple, and in his ecstasy of, the Lord of the universe, the Lord of everything has come into my home. In that ecstasy, he did not know what he was doing. He was, he only had some fruits, bananas, and that banana he was, peeling it, and he was throwing the banana and giving the skin to Krishna to eat. I mean, only a cow would eat that, But he was giving the skin to Krishna, and Krishna was eating the skin. He knew. Hey, he did not say, "Hey Vidura, what are you doing? You give me the banana." We would say that, we cannot eat the skin, but Krishna can eat anything, So Krishna, he accepted the skin from Vidura. And he was eating, Krishna was eating nicely. Only a cow would eat that. So, and in Ramayana also there is a Shabari, who, she is a tribal woman in the forest, and when Ramchandra was going in the forest, she was a forest woman, but was a very great devotee of Lord Ram. So when Ram was there, she wanted to offer the best berries, berries from the trees. So she collected so many berries, and she would taste them, then give it to Ram. Who would do that? How can you eat something and give it to Krishna? No. But Ram ate. Why did he eat? Because Shabari was not tasting to tea. Nice. Then okay, you take Ram. No, that is different bhava. But her bhava was, I must give the best berry to Ram. Then she tasted, oh, this is sour, no, I will not give this. Then, oh, this is sweet, okay, this should be given to Ram. So in this way she was giving the best thing. Of course, we cannot imitate this. We are not in the position of Shabari. She is a pure devotee. Our rule is that we cannot taste. So a bhava must be, Krishna must get the best thing. So that is bhava. So why did the acharyas, yesterday also we have seen the verse, Manasi japani jushte, labdha patosme dushte, Timira gahana rupe, hamta samsara kupe, ajitya nikhila raksha, hetu muddhara daksham, upanaya mama haste, bhakti rajjum namaste. So why so rhyming so nice? Bhavagrahi Janardhan, right? But the acharyas, they try to do their best. Best poetry, uttama shloka, nice words, best poetic meter, everything like this. But even if it does not have these things, it does not reduce in spiritual potency, and that is explained in this verse. It's a very good question that Vishnu Teja has asked. Thank you, Vishnu Teja, because this opens up a very important topic, and it's important as we learn pronunciation, how we should learn it. So here, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tadvag visargo janatagha viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abadhavatyapi Namanyanantasya yashonkitani yat shrinvanti gayanti grananti sadhavah. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited spiritual Supreme Lord is a different creation compared with the materialistic books. Full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest, because they accept the bhava. Just like Prabhupada said, when there is a fire in the house, in the neighbor's house, if they are speaking some other language than yours, and if they don't understand your language, still you will try to help them. You will use sign language, or you say whatever you want, to indicate if there is a fire. Somehow or other you want to get the message out. So even though it is composed in imperfect language, it doesn't matter. This main thing is the bhava. What is the message? That is more important. So of course, as we are learning this pronunciation, we should not discriminate against devotees who may not be able to pronounce properly. We should, even if we can pronounce well, of course, if we can help the other person pronounce better, that is good. That's exactly why we are having this class, so that you can understand the pronunciation. And Prabhupada also stressed there are diacritic marks, and please learn this pronunciation. And Prabhupada, when he was saying ghatetartha, no, he was saying ghatetatha. No, it's not ghatetatha, ghatetartha. So he was teaching the correct pronunciation. Why did he do it? So we should try our best. And actually, for many people, it should not be difficult if they learn what we have taught today. It should not be difficult. But if it is difficult for some, maybe for example, I said Chinese, Krishna, they say, so it may be very difficult for them. But Bhavagrahi Janardhan. So Krishna accepts the bhava. So we should not discriminate against devotees who can't pronounce it properly. We should see what they're doing with their lives. Are they dedicating, if they're dedicating, what more is there? Even if I can't, the animals, Vanaras were all, what is that? Monkeys, apes. they cannot speak like gentlemen, nothing. Hanuman has said that prayer, right? Where is that? I think 583 or 587 or something like this. So he said, we are not even we cannot speak like gentlemen. We are like animals, apes. We are not good looking. We are not nothing. But Ram accepted us because of the bhava. They wanted to serve the Lord. So that is very important. Very, very good question. Thank you very much. So then Ajanya Mataji is asking, tune is necessary for chanting the shloka? It is not necessary. It is not necessary for chanting the shloka, but with tune, it will become easier for you to memorize the shloka. For example, if we say, like Prabhupada, he doesn't, when he quotes, he doesn't use tune. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. So, there may not be any tune, it's like a prose. So, the meaning doesn't change, of course. But if you chant in a tune, then sometimes it's easy for you to remember. Just like a nursery rhyme, Why it is in rhythmic or rhyme fashion? Because it's catchy, it's easier to hold on to the sounds. And in fact, Acharyas like Rupa Goswami and even Vyasadeva, they have composed all the shlokas. Only very few shlokas in Bhagavatam are like prose, like a sentence instead of like a poem. Very few. Because mostly are very poetic, very, very poetic. And all have, there are rules of how to write poetry. 11 syllables, that we will learn in another class, not today. I think the 4th class, maybe day after tomorrow probably. We will learn about the chandas. There we will see how there is structure in the making of the shloka. There is so much structure actually, so much depth to the structure also. How to write, how to compose shlokas in the proper way. What is the proper chanda? What is the proper, chanda means the meter. So there is so much science to it. What we have learned is just, Prabhupada said to learn Sanskrit perfectly, it will take 12 years of intense study. 12 years. So you can just imagine how much is there. So it's 519.7, yes, 519.7. Narahari Prabhu has kindly shown us in the comments. So 519.7. Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam. This is by Hanuman. You see, although he said we are apes, we cannot talk properly. You see how much nice shloka he has composed. Navan na buddhir nakritistoša hetu tairyadvisrishtan apino vanaukasash chakara sakhye bata lakshmanagrajah. One cannot establish a friendship with the Supreme Lord Ramachandra on the basis of material qualities such as one's birth in an aristocratic family, one's personal beauty, one's eloquence, one's sharp intelligence, or one's superior race or nation. None of these qualifications is actually a prerequisite for friendship with Lord Sri Ramachandra. Otherwise, how is it possible that although we uncivilized inhabitants of the forest have not taken noble births, although we have no physical beauty, and although we cannot speak like gentlemen, Lord Ramachandra has nevertheless accepted us as friends. See? So, Bhavagrahi Janardhan. So, in this way there is, so tune is necessary, not necessary, but it is helpful. And also, when you chant it in tune, it is attractive also. In fact, Prabhupada said in that quote, I don't know if you remember from yesterday, he said, if you can chant these shlokas in a festival, during festival with even musical instruments and chant these shlokas like from Ishopanishad or Bhagavatam or like this, it will be a nice charm for the people. They will hear these nice shlokas. So, to chant in tune also is good because it attracts, and also it is good for you to learn and easier to learn also sometimes. Most of the time it's very easy to learn if there is a tune. Just like a song. Song is catchy, is catchy, so it helps. Then Vishnu Teja, from yesterday, Karnamrita Devidasi makes songs with western tunes with verses from Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures. Is that a good way to learn? It doesn't matter western tune. Oh, I have again messed up this connection. so I should not. There's some kind of loose connection with my ports, I think that's why it's causing this. So there is no difference between Western and Eastern tunes. I mean, there is, but it doesn't make a difference as long as you have a tune. Just like Prabhupada said, we should have that Govindam Adipurusham. What is that? Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham. This is all Western tune. And actually, in some places, it is not correct pronunciation also. But Prabhupada said, no, play this every day. So, Bhavagrahi. Of course, the Bhava means what actually? Bhava means what? Feeling is one way of saying it, but feeling is not the exact thing also. Feeling means, yes, feeling, but feeling means, for example, it's not that when you are saying these words, you must feel something, like imaginary. No. What is our sadhana? Prabhupada said, you can make all this show, but we have to be serious devotees. We have to wake up every day in the morning. We have to do all the things rigidly and everything, chanting properly, 16 rounds, following the 4 principles. That is bhava. Bhava means our character should be strictly in accordance with the instructions of the spiritual master. Not that bhava means, oh, I am in some love. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, that, the pure devotee, that is a different, that is also bhava, yes, that is ecstatic bhava. But now we are not on the stage, at least I am not in that stage. So now we are in the Vaidhi Bhakti, where we are following the rules and regulations given by the spiritual master. If Prabhupada did not say 16 rounds, we would not have chanted 16 rounds. We would have cut short, maybe 4 rounds or 6 rounds or 1 round or maybe half round. But because Prabhupada said 16 rounds, we are chanting 16 rounds. But real bhava means no stop. Every day just chant like Haridas Thakur. That is real bhava. But we don't have that kind of bhava. At least I don't have. So bhava means in our Prabhupada said that our character, our adherence to the instructions of Srila Prabhupada should be 100%. That is real bhava for us at this moment. That is real bhava. So our character should be good. Our character should be strictly and seriously a devotee in the path that Srila Prabhupada has shown us. So that is real bhava. So by following this, then we chant. If one chants, actually now in ISKCON, unfortunately, there are so many nice talented devotees, they can do the kirtan and they can do the instruments very nicely and they can chant very nicely sometimes, but they don't wake up even for Mangalarati, they don't chant properly, maybe sometimes they don't even dress like Vaishnavas sometimes. So all these things, this is not proper bhava. Prabhupada did not want it to become a hippie edition of Hare Krishna. We should not become hippie Hare Krishnas. No, that is not what he wanted. Why he introduced dhoti, sari and the hairstyle, everything. For men it is like shaven, and for women it is like braided. All these things, and sari on the on the head. Why all these things he introduced for Westerners? He could have just said no, Harinam is the main thing. Actually now there is a movement like that in ISKCON, Krishna West. Krishna West is a when you say West, when you put an upadhi, a designation to Krishna, that is completely bogus. Krishna means Krishna. There is no west, east, south, north, northeast, northwest. No. Krishna means Krishna, that's it. Absolute. And the absolute standard is the Vedic standard. It's not Indian standard. India happens to have the Vedic standard, but it's not Indian standard. It's Vedic standard. It's what is mentioned in the Vedas, given by Krishna, and it is for everybody. Unfortunately, there is so much deterioration of culture, and that's why it has become all these different cultures we have. But coming back to the point, we have to follow everything that Srila Prabhupada has given us, the Vedic culture, and then the bhava is proper. And when our character is like that, foundation of our character is based on our spiritual practice given by Prabhupada, then our chanting will all have effect. Purity is the force. Prabhupada said the tune is not the real thing that drives anything. To chant is not the tune. Prabhupada, he chanted a very simple tune when he went to the Tompkins Square. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is a very simple tune. He did not invent many tunes. Of course, he did not obstruct us from chanting different tunes, but he chanted all the way 3 hours in Tompkins Square Park, just this tune. And people were dancing and the whole movement started from that kirtan. See that? So it is the bhava. And tune helps, but it's not the main thing. The main core is the knowledge, our practice. These are our main core. All right, Vishnu Tej. Okay, Ajanya Mataji. Is there any rules from music to chant shlokas? Yes, there is. So we will go through that in the fourth session, the chandas session. So I think that's day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is about sandhi, to understand how words are joined and divided. So that is tomorrow, and day after tomorrow will be the tunes. Okay, we will learn then. You are chanting in a tune. Is it your own tune? Mostly they are established tunes, but one or two I have created my own tunes. I mean, Krishna gave the intelligence, not I created. So yeah. So as long as you have a tune that perfectly fits. For example, what is that? Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shaktirasmad Ekatmana Vapi Bhuvipura Deha Bhedam Gatau Tau Chaitanyakhyam Prakatamadhuna Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhavadyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So this verse is about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is actually I created my own tune by Krishna's grace, because I did not know how to chant this. I did not know any tune, so I just tried something and it perfectly fit this. But there is another tune after that I found out. It is used in Carnatic music. So that tune actually can be used for this one, like Radha Krishna, I don't know, no, 1380, yeah. Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnideshas tesham jata mayina karuna natrapanopashanti utsrajyaitan athayadupate sampratam labdha buddhis tvamayatah sharanam abhayam mamniyung svatmadasye. So this is the established tune, but I created my own tune. So it's like Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnideshas. So Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnideshas tesham jata mayina karuna natrapanopashanti utsrajyaitanathavayatupate sampratam labdha buddhis tvamayatah sharanam abhayam mamniyung svatmadasye. So this is own tune but perfectly fits. So anyway, we will learn all this in the fourth lesson. Manjukesi Mataji from Philippines. In reciting verses, different tunes to be used, like in Brahma Samhita and Srimad Bhagavatam, or is it okay to recite it without tune for a learner? Actually, for a learner, it will be easier with tune. Not very difficult. These tunes are like rhymes. Why are children taught with rhymes? Because it's easier with tune. So actually it is easier with tune. So once we will learn the tune, right, then you will see it is easier to remember the words also. It's easier to remember. So you will understand once we go to the fourth session, and after that when you put it into practice, then you will see. Then Ayyappa from India. Huh? No. It's a place Shabri lived. They call it Shabrimala. Okay. He's saying that Shabri lived in Shabrimala in Kerala. But now there's Ayyappa temple. I don't know how bona fide that is, but Shabri was there. She is a great devotee of Lord Ramchandra. Now Vishnu Teja. When preaching to Christians, Muslims and Jews, can we quote from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Tattvavit, in which he shows the faults in their doctrines? Okay, this is not exactly to the point of the class, of the lecture. So I do not want to deviate from that lecture. We preach as Prabhupada taught us. Tattvaviveka, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said many things, even against Buddhists. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given commentary, and Prabhupada has inserted that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Madhya Lila chapter 9 text 49 purport against the Buddhists. So all these things are there. We can, there's nothing wrong, we can use that, but whether we will offend them or not, basically let us study Prabhupada and how he dealt with all these different groups, and there is nothing wrong. We can of course use Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is an acharya. So but sometimes we may offend, and it may turn into something racial or something against religious. So Prabhupada's main way of preaching to these religious groups is he encouraged them in the principles in their own religions which ask them to glorify God. Like in the Muslim, there is namaz. There is, so in that way there is 5 times prayers of the day, and then there is also halal, haram. What can be eaten, what cannot be eaten. So, and in Christianity also there is hallowed be thy name from dawn to dusk, thou art in heaven, and then there is thou shalt not kill. So these points he raised. So he just encouraged them to follow the principles of what are already there in their religion and slowly, rise above. So anyway, please keep it to the topic. Adeline, this is too interesting and inspirational. How can I learn the basics again? I really need refresher. Is there a recording of this? Yes, there is a recording of this. This entire lecture is recorded. It's on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. After this is recorded, is live on Facebook, but after this it will be posted onto YouTube on our ISKM TV YouTube channel, and there you can see it as many times as you want. I'm very glad you like this. I hope many devotees are inspired to learn more shlokas now and how to pronounce and everything. And then next, thank you very much, Adeline Mataji. And Vishnu Teja, Prabhu, what is the tune for Mukundamala Stotra? In the Mukundamala Stotra, there are shlokas of various lengths, and each, depending on the length, how long is the shloka, the tune is different. So there are some verses with 8 syllables in each line. There are 4 lines in a shloka, each that is called pada, and each pada there are 8 syllables, that is 1 meter. There are few tunes for that. And there is 11 syllables, which is upajati tune, and the 8 syllables one is called anushtup chanda. Then the 11 syllables is trishtup chanda, but it is also called upajati. Upajati is a tune actually, upajati meter. There is other meters you can chant the same trishtup chanda. So chanda is the length, and that meter is, there are different meters like upajati, and there are other names I don't know even, but I know how to chant them, but I don't know the names of them. So I'm also looking for a good source where I can find all these names, but it's not so important. The main thing is to be able to chant. So, and then there is 12, like the Damodarashtaka. That tune of Damodarashtaka is for 12 syllables in each line. In each line there are 12 syllables. And then there is 13 syllables, but I haven't seen a shloka with 13 syllables. I have seen shlokas, I think there is. I have seen shlokas with 1 line 12, second line 13, third line 12, fourth line 13. Like that song, Ujjvala Varana Gauravara Deham. What is that second line? Virasita Niravadhi Bhava Videham. Maybe I'm messing up the lyrics, but that song, the first line is 12 syllables and then the second line is 13 syllables. Third line is 12 syllables, fourth line is 13 syllables. I think even Mukundamala Stotra there is, I think the 6th or 7th verse, I think is like that also again. So anyway, so that is one. No, sorry, the 9th verse in Mukundamala Stotra is something like that. And then there are 14 syllables in one line. That is the Brahma Samhita, that Govindamada Purusham prayers, that is 14. So Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalayataksham. So that tune is for 14 syllables. It can also be chanted in Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalayataksham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So this is also 14 syllables. Different tune. So then there is 15 syllables, Malati Chanda. I am actually messing up. Malati is a meter, Chanda is a length, but let's say for practical purposes, Malati Chanda. It is like Jayatu Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandanoyam Jayatu Jayatu Krishno Vrishnivam Pradeepaha Jayatu Jayatu Megha Shamala Komalango Jayatu Jayatu Prithvi Bharanasho Mukunda. This is Malati Chanda, 15 syllables. Then there is 17 syllables which I just chanted, the Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Hladini Shakti Rasmat, that. So I found my own tune, that is 17 syllables. And then there is 19 syllables which is the Shad Goswami Ashtaka. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunao Sadharma Samsthapako. That is 19 syllables. And then there is 21 syllables Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. This is 21 syllables in each line. So in this way, there are different tunes for different lengths. So we will learn all this in the fourth lesson. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this session, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Singapore time. So we will learn the division and joining of words. Right? Thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Jaya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Jai, गौरनिताय भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद, हरि हरि बोल. And in fact, all goes to, what is that we chant? Nashtapraya Shvabhadreshu, no, Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Saraswati Devi. All glories to Saraswati Devi, because she is the one who is the representation of all this knowledge. Alright, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.